you so much for coming back to, ooh, you're too far. Oh, okay. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. This is Nyanda back again to give you your reading for the month of January. This is going to be for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and North Node. Do make sure that you're checking out your other placements for a fuller message. And if this does not apply, please do not force it to fit. Please don't force it to fit. Because then you're going to get mad at me. You're going to want to call me and my mom and shit. Then I got to fight you. It's going to be a whole thing. We're going to need all that drama. So anyway. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, I know if you have any other placements on like water signs and you heard me say like, I think I posted it in a community note where I was like, oh, if you want to book a personal reading with me, I got my free trial expired, so I got to pay for the website. And then I just haven't done it because I want to say it's because I'm a lazy piece of shit. That would be accurate, but that's not why. I've actually been really busy. I don't think that I'm a lazy piece of shit. The evidence is not showing that I am a lazy piece of shit. That's what I'll say. But anyways, I've been really busy. I'm moving to New York in 3 days. So I've been packing everything up. I'm gonna be an East Coast girly again, you guys. Hit me up if you live out there and you're not like a crazy murderer. Okay, so let's go ahead and get right into your monthly message because I'm clearly delusional and I'm just saying shit. So what messages do we have for Leo placements in the month of January? You ain't gotta say too much. I'm not gonna sing that song. Anyways, so Leo, in the month of, I'm hearing something about October is significant, or maybe there's something that you have been mastering since the month of October and November, pertaining to self-sabotage. There's something about you, it's almost kind of like there is, with masks, self-sabotage, and intuition here, there's something here about you potentially, I'm hearing masquerading, or there's some sort of mask that you wear that either masks self-sabotage or that mask that you have is a form of self-sabotage, or maybe it's becoming a form of self-sabotage, or maybe you're feeling like maybe you're not living your truest truth, as redundant as that sounds, where it's kind of like maybe it's like I'm not being my truest self, which should be fair when it comes to Leo placements, especially if you're like a Leo rising, right? Leo energy, I don't know if you know this, but it carries the energy of like childlikeness. And I have this theory where it's like if you have a wounded inner child, then the way that you present yourself to the world having that Leo rising mask, I'm not saying that's only for Leo rising, all Leo placements have a childlike energy because Leo is ruled by the sun and it's the 5th house of playfulness and passion, the 5th house of dating, the 5th house of creativity, of children. So a lot of, in fact, I've heard astrologers even say that the first 5 signs are the most childlike signs. And I don't know if that's entirely accurate, but if you're looking at the Vedic chart, that's actually not too far off. But anyways, it's like in the scale of maturity, it's like when you're dealing with like a Cancer or a Leo or a Gemini or something, or Taurus, something of that nature, it's like they carry a more like youthful energy. But what ends up happening is if you have a wounded inner child, or sometimes, well, we won't say that. We'll stick to the wounded inner child. Then sometimes when you learned in childhood that you needed to put on some sort of a mask to either be accepted or to protect yourself, because some people feel like, oh, if you're wearing a mask, that means that you don't like yourself. That's not always the case. Sometimes people wear masks because they genuinely are protecting their inner self, especially if you've been like bullied a lot, you've been picked on a lot, whatever it is. It's like, and everybody wears a mask. I just want to make that abundantly clear. Everybody wears a mask. We don't always call it a mask, but it's like how we present ourselves to the world is not always 120% authentic to how we are truly on the inside. Why is that? Because we are multidimensional beings, most of us at least. You know, I'm starting to find out a lot of people are very unidimensional, but anyways, we are multidimensional beings. It's impossible for me, at least me personally, I feel like I am, for me to show you all the sides of myself in one encounter. You know what I mean? And then, you know, when you get to know somebody and then you end up getting behind the layers and you're like, oh, okay, so this is who this person truly is on the inside. Then it's like, you can see why it is that they present themselves to the world in the way that they do, right? So it's like some people, oh, this is gonna sound really fucked up, have a very strong guise of confidence, but then you can kind of tell when you get close to them, it's like, oh, they do have some insecurities, they have some problems, or whatever the case might be. And one thing that I have known of Leo placements is that they're very generous and very jovial, and they feel like they have to be there for other people and that they have to take on certain roles, especially like when it comes to their family. I've noticed when it comes to their family or other people, excuse me, my second cup of coffee because I have issues. Anyway, when it comes to being there for other people or being helpful or altruistic, it's like there's this desire almost to a point where it's like self-sacrificing to be there for other people. And then when you kind of get to the root of why that is, you begin to realize like, oh, that might be because of some sort of inner wound, that something that wasn't served for you in childhood that now you're beginning to kind of mirror that or project that out into the world. So there's something about the mask. Let me get back home. Something about the mask that you're presenting to the world that might actually be shooting you in the foot now at this point. It's becoming a form of self-sabotage, and now you're becoming a lot more aware of it. Some of you guys might even be strengthening your intuition and becoming more aware of the ways that you are sabotaging yourself, even if it doesn't pertain to like you putting a mask out to the world or putting on a facade or something fake to the world, or feeling like you have to present yourself to the world a certain way. It's just like intuitively you're beginning to realize like, okay, this pattern of behavior, this pattern of thought, or these choices that I'm making are leading to my demise, for lack of better terms. And sometimes when it comes to self-sabotage, it's like you don't really know that you're doing it until you know that you're doing it. And then once you can see it, you cannot unsee it. I feel like I'm talking in circles, but I hope that makes sense, because I feel like I wasn't saying, whenever I like edit my videos, I'm like, oh, you were making a point. But like whenever I'm actually like doing it, I'm just like, am I saying anything right now? But yeah, so it's like for me personally, I'll give you an example. I'm a stoner. I'm a massive stoner. I'm not as massive of a stoner as I used to be, I will say that. But when those times were happening, I didn't necessarily have many concrete goals. You know, I was in college, I was studying psychology, I was a straight A student, stoned out of my fucking mind though. But it's like I had lots of time and energy to do a bunch of other things as well, that ultimately what ended up happening was that I did not accomplish all of those things that I wanted to accomplish because I was stoned. So it's like I was gonna do exactly as much as I had to do to be able to get what I needed to get done, that like somebody was holding me accountable for, right? I'm paying for college. So if I'm paying for it, I'm doing my fucking homework. Like, but it's like the other things, like we were talking about, like my wanting to be a musician, which that went on the back burner for a while. But like me wanting to be a musician, it was kind of, number one, smoking fucks up your lungs, it fucks up your voice. When I tell you guys that I was a stoner, like I'm not really as, I feel like calling myself a stoner now is hyperbolic. But anyway, the point that I want to make is that it fucks up my lungs, it fucks up my energy levels, it fucks up my dopamine levels, and it keeps me from being as productive as I possibly could be. So there could be something, whether that could be like a substance of some sort, that could be like a habit. Overspending, for example, for a lot of people is overspending. Like for some people, retail therapy is a way that they alleviate their stress, or it makes them feel better. We all have our thing, our vice, right? Maybe you're beginning to find out that a certain vice or a certain pattern of behavior is holding you back. But anyway, it's been 8 minutes. I've said that a million times now, so let's keep moving forward. So what message do we have for Leos in the month of January? I'm hearing that song from the Rugrats movie. Ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ah, bing, bang. Wait. Bing, bang, walla, walla, bing, bang. Ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ah. Oh, that's the crossover between the Wild Thornberrys and the Rugrats. I don't remember which one that is, but what? There was a bunch of monkeys. So you could feel like there's a lot of monkeys on your back, or a lot of people are bothering you, or maybe a bunch of responsibilities are piling up on you. For some of you guys, you could be dealing with a breakup. Maybe you thought there was a relationship that you thought you were going to be in, or there's a relationship that you're ending, and somebody's in despair about it. I'll tell you that right now. Like somebody's really not doing well. Ooh, if it's a breakup, real bad. For some of you guys, somebody might have left you for somebody else, or somebody might be leaving you for somebody else. I'm hearing divorce for some of you guys. Somebody might might be getting broken up with, and like they don't have work at the same time. So it's like if you lived with somebody or they were paying your bills and then you guys broke up, now it's like, Oh, like monkeys on my back. Oh, you know what I'm hearing also? Monkeys on my back and I walk 100 miles. Fake guilt make a nigga feel fake when he smiles. Love gets confused in the mind of a child, cause love wouldn't lie like I lie, and that's why I wanna have my cake and another cake too. Even if the baker don't bake like you, even if the flavor don't taste like you. So I'm back vibing with a late night crew, like that's Kevin's Heart from J. Cole. And that's a song about, I love that song. He's essentially saying that he's talking about either like a lust addiction or a sex addiction, or like him chronically cheating on his girl, his wife. If we're talking about Kevin Hart, because that was around the time that Kevin Hart had gotten exposed for like being unfaithful to his wife, right? And it was like this whole big ordeal and it went viral and all that stuff. So the song is called Kevin's Heart, and Kevin Hart is in the music video. But essentially in the song, J. Cole is saying like, I'm in love with, J. Cole's married, so we'll just say his wife, right? I'm in love with my wife. I'm in love with my wife. She's phenomenal. She's a great woman. But for whatever reason, I always find myself wanting to get attention from other women, or wanting to get validation from other women, or whatever the case. So that could also be another form of self-sabotage. Some people are chronic or serial cheaters because I don't really know, actually. I guess it depends. I can't speak because I've never cheated before and I never really wanted to, but there is research about people that are like chronically unfaithful, or people that struggle with commitment. You know, some people are just not commitment people, but some people struggle with commitment because they're afraid of getting tied down, or they're afraid of losing their freedom, or they're afraid of getting cheated on or getting hurt themselves, or they'd rather just keep it shallow, but whatever the case might be. So that could be like, for example, Leo, maybe you got cheated on and left, or maybe you're leaving somebody for someone else, or it's something about the idea that somebody's being left for another person. Or maybe another option is you left somebody you cared about, or stepped out on somebody you cared about for another person, and now you're trying to get back together and repair that relationship. Like I said, the lore of Kevin Hart is coming through here, where it's just kind of like because he's still with his wife now. So it's like, essentially the song was confessing that I feel an intense amount of guilt for this infidelity that I committed against this person that I really, really care about. Like, and I want to try to make it work out. And now I'm having to address and adjust my thinking and my pattern of behavior. And it's like, you could be the one that got cheated on, or you could be the cheater trying to get your life together. Just put yourself where it belongs. Anyway, so yeah, Leo, so you could be the person that like maybe you were a player, a serial cheater, whatever the case might be. And now you're like trying to redirect your energy and be like, no, I don't want to. Some people like, I don't know, I'm not going to say too much. All I will say is that either one of those scenarios could be happening in the month of January. Let's get into the tarot. Feeling myself, that it feels that would come true. Back of my mind was you. Okay. Slip me a Zanny at once. Somebody, I got the earth and the blunt smoke. I get the skirt when I want. Skirt. Okay. Yeah. What message do we have for Leo in the month of January? It's funny because in the song he says, she got wife written all over her. Some of you guys could be considering commitment. Slip me a Zanny at once. Somebody. I love that song. Yeah, if you've never heard that song, look up that song. You could be dealing with an Aries. You could have Aries placements. Somebody here could be... Split me a Zanny at once. Could be dealing with a Sagittarius or a Gemini. I got the earth and the blunt. I get the skirt when I want. Skirt. I get the skirt when I want. Skirt. Okay. We have Scorpio and then we have Aquarius. Okay. So, Leo. 1 second. You could have rushed into something secretly. You could have done something impulsively secretly. Clarity on the Seven of Swords. Or you're currently, in the month of January, you're going to be doing something secretly or rushing into something secretly. You're waiting right now. There's something that you need to finish or fix up. I'm hearing fix up or finish. For some of you guys, what you're keeping secret is the fact that you are trying to reunite with somebody. You're trying to find a way to get back together with somebody. So this might be a really specific storyline. I'm just going to let everybody know it might not be for everybody. But there could be somebody that you are either you're like sneakily like you're trying to reunite with that person or get back with that person, but you don't want other people to know, or you don't want the person that you're trying to reunite with or meet up with to know. You're trying to find, I'm hearing reasons, you're trying to find ways to reunite with this person. Maybe you're just not telling like your friends and family that you're trying to get back with this person. Get back with, I feel like you're going to get back with somebody, or you're wanting to get back with somebody. Clarity on the Nine of Wands. Ooh. Okay. We have somebody very loving and compassionate coming through here. Whoever this person is that you're trying to connect with, they are a polar opposite energy to you. So if you're somebody that's very stoic, very very controlled, very regimented, the person that you're trying to connect with is very loving and very flowy and very compassionate and very expressive. Okay, that's what I'm seeing here. And it's almost kind of giving me the vibe of like maybe you have like a long-standing connection with this person and you're trying to make sure that you can actually see it through, but for whatever reason you have to keep that quiet for right now. Clarity on the Knight of Swords. You would like to rush in though. I am seeing that here. Yeah. So for, ooh, okay. So for those of you that resonated with that like third party cheating incident, you might have rushed at some point, or somebody in the situation, put yourself where it belongs. Somebody in this situation rushed with another person, because I'm seeing, and I'm assuming it's a man, but don't, whatever, listen. I'm seeing one masculine energy and two feminine energies, okay? Um, one of these women feels betrayed. And this might have been, if it's not a woman, I'm sorry, I'm just going to say woman because I see a queen, okay? One of these women feel betrayed. Maybe they might have found out that they were a side piece or somebody on the side. And it's like that person is looking, clarity on the Page of Cups. They feel, okay, yeah, this person, that whoever the person is that feels betrayed, you might have, if there is a side person or third party energy, that person feels betrayed and is like looking for a sign or looking for something or is hoping for some sort of signal from this emperor, and they're not getting it. And that's making them feel even worse, okay? Because they're beginning to feel like they were left in the dark about something with the Moon card here. It's almost kind of like they're hoping like maybe, I'm hearing a morsel of attention, clarity on the Moon card. Yeah, this person, somebody might have found out that they were a side piece to someone. Yikes. Somebody could have found out that they were a side piece. This person could have fire placements like Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And maybe they thought something was more than it was because whoever the masculine figure was, they rushed into the connection with that person. Or they rushed to contact or to communicate or whatever the case might be. The masculine energy rushed in to that, okay? This Queen of Wands, I'm also in Queen of Swords. Whoever this Queen of Wands is feels betrayed, okay? Because they were under the guise or under the impression that they were going to unite with this emperor, and it looks like that's not the case. Not me having a telenovela on the reading. Okay, let's get into it. Let's get into the nitty gritty. Let me see about this other person. Somebody might have been greedy in this connection, I'm hearing. Like maybe, I don't know. I'm hearing somebody in the situation was greedy. Okay, that person could have been a water sign, a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. And we have Taurus here as well. So how does, okay. Yeah, we're getting heavy Pisces energy here. Okay, so this emperor, I'm hearing, okay, yeah. Somebody cheated on somebody. That's not funny. Somebody was cheated on or unfaithful or juggled somebody, okay? And then now we have a King of Wands as well. So what I'm seeing here, we have Virgo, Pisces, Taurus. Aries, Sagittarius. It doesn't have to be any of those signs, what I'm seeing, okay? Somebody, I'm hearing swinging of the hammer. Somebody, so this emperor here, there was somebody who they had on the side, and there was somebody that they had as their main interest, okay? Kevin's heart, stay with me. They could have even been married, or they wanted to marry somebody, had a serious relationship, whatever the case might have been. The person that they have the serious connection with, they view a future with, okay? So this emperor energy is spending time on their own and waiting. So that could be you, Leo, where it's like you're spending time to yourself and waiting. You could have cheated on somebody or played somebody, I don't fucking know, but you're spending your time and waiting to heal or to assess something. It could even be like a familial wound. Why am I sabotaging things, especially if it's somebody that you felt was important to you and that you really cared about and that you had a good connection with? Why would I step out on a person like that? Why would I give up on a person like that? Why would I, or why do I sabotage this relationship when it's a really good relationship? It's not like my needs aren't getting met. It's not like I'm being neglected or I'm being ignored. Or it's not like I'm being taken advantage of. Like, why is it that I did this? Why did I do this to this relationship? Because this person means a lot to me. Because it looks like whoever the person is that you're more committed to, Leo, you view them as like long term. Like, that's long term. I see a future with this person. I see if you live here like a family with this person. Like, I see all of that. So it's like that's the person that I see it with. The other person is coming across here, it does, I'm not really seeing anything for that person. So if you were the person that was unfaithful, Leo, then maybe you're taking some time to yourself. Maybe you're not entertaining anybody right now, spending some time to yourself, being single in the month of January and really like figuring out, or you could be doing that now, but you're trying to figure out like, how is it that I can keep from repeating this pattern of behavior because I don't want to experience this anymore. Does that make sense? Yeah, I'm feeling really teary-eyed for some reason. We have Scorpio energy. So this could be really fucking with you emotionally, Leo. Um, hmm. Yeah, for some of you guys, this is something that you're trying to resolve before you move forward. And maybe that's the reason why you're keeping the reunion on quiet. Like maybe you're not talking to the other person for now, or the person that you want to reunite with for now, because you're trying to figure out some sort of internal issue. Like, oh, we're talking about the wounded inner child. Like, maybe there was something in your childhood or something that happened when you were younger that kind of affected how you interact with people in relationships or how you perceive relationships between other people, that now you're beginning to realize I have to take the time to actually heal that before I entertain something with somebody else. Um, there's some sort of spiritual lesson that you actually want to work on. So you're going to take time to yourself in January to make sure that you do that. For some of you guys, before you have a new beginning with the Fool card here, yeah, you want to feel stable in yourself. You want to feel good about yourself because, yeah, it's almost kind of like maybe you were somebody that like was not okay being by yourself. You know, it's like I would rather have a million meaningless relationships and keep myself busy than for me to be on my own and only entertain people that I feel seriously about. You know what I'm saying? It's almost kind of, does that make sense? Because for some people, it's like the fear of being abandoned will make them like hoard a bunch of people. And then it's like, I actually don't really like y'all. I could be wrong, but you know, I don't really fuck with y'all actually. I just didn't want to be alone. And then it's like, also when you do that, I think I've said that before, it's kind of like if you don't really care about the people that you're entertaining, it's so easy to just cut them off. You know, it's like, okay, well, you're not on my good graces anymore. Okay, bye, new person, because they don't mean anything to you. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like it's like okay, well, you're gone, but it's okay. I can always get another person. You come in, fill that void, and it's like maybe you reached a point where it was like you found somebody, and then you did the same thing where it's like maybe you had a disagreement or an argument or whatever the case might be, or maybe you started overthinking, and then it was like, well, I'm gonna get rid of you, and I'll just put somebody else in that place, and then you're like, this is not a replacement for that person that I actually really cared about. And then it's like, and I know Leos struggle with pride a lot. So it could have been like, well, I'm not about to hit them up because I don't want to do that. So let me just, instead of trying to get back with the person I want to get with here, get rid of that replacement, bring another replacement in. You kind of suck too. And then you look back at the other person that you like really cared about and it's like, fuck. Okay, bring another person in. Matter of fact, bring 10 people in. I don't like any of you. I still want, and then it becomes this weird, like I can't replace that person. And then there comes the sadness of why did I do that? Okay, why did I do that? What led to that pattern of behavior? What led to me taking that action against that person? Why would I trash something that's valuable? You know what I mean? So maybe that's what you're beginning to realize. There's a lot of earth energy here, so you could also be working on your finances, but what I'm really seeing here, Leo, is you're probably learning how to ground yourself. Earth energy, earth signs are all about grounding themselves in reality and being able to grow, alchemize. You understand what I'm saying? So it's kind of like maybe you're beginning to realize that being too much in your head or too much in your emotions or even too logical is not helpful if you cannot ground yourself in the current reality. A lot of the times, especially if you're missing an element in your birth chart, like I don't have any fire in my birth chart. So it's like I have every other element. I have earth, I have a little bit of air, very little air. Earth, a little bit of air, and fire, or not fire, earth, air, and water. It's mostly water for the most part when it comes to the aspects, but yeah, water and Capricorn. So it's like I'm really good at feeling and I'm really good at staying logical and staying calm, but I also feel a lot. But I'm not the best at taking action. So it's like for me to take action, it takes a lot of effort for me, but I have no fire in my chart. In fact, the repressed energy in my chart is all pertaining to fire. Whereas when it comes to you, Leo, obviously you have fire in your chart, so taking action might not actually be the issue. Maybe for you, not taking action or being able to ground yourself or to be present in this moment and to rationalize, maybe that's a little bit harder for you, especially when you get worked up, because then you start getting worked up and doing all this, and then it's like you end up causing all this damage, and then after you finally calm down and come back to earth, it's like, why did I do that? But anyways, let's get some advice for you, Leo. Oh, I forgot to tell you we're going to do a pendulum reading, so think of a yes or no question, and then we're going to use my penny. Okay, what advice do you have for Leo in the month of January? You ain't gotta say too much. When you look in your eyes, I can see you. We have Scorpio energy, and yeah, you know what, Leo? You're doing a good job. Whatever it is that you're doing a really good job. The advice is to continue what you're doing, allow for the transformation to fully happen and for the cycle to fully close, because you don't want to try to rush yourself into something before you've been able to acknowledge why it is that you fall into the habits or the patterns that you fall into. Because if you can't not acknowledge, but if you're unaware of why you react the way that you do or why you think the way that you do or whatever, you're going to repeat it subconsciously because something's going to trigger you and you're not going to know what's happening. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like if you're somebody that has been betrayed a lot, we'll use that as an example, right? You're assuming that everybody's going to betray you no matter what happens or what they're doing. So it's like if you can't resolve those feelings and understand that not everybody in your life is going to betray you, because statistically speaking, first of all, that's not even fucking possible, okay? Maybe you could be making bad decisions or maybe not vetting people as well as you possibly could be. That's true, but statistically speaking, everybody in this world cannot be a traitor, okay? Just stats. That's just numbers, okay? So it's like maybe before you enter into this next phase of your life, which is being more comfortable opening up the door and allowing more people into your space and into your energy and learning how to feel safe and to feel grounded, and to understand maybe even conflict resolution, right? Like some people would rather just trash a situation as soon as a problem arises and just start something all over again, and then as soon as that situation has an issue, trash the situation. You know what I mean? It's like maybe learning how to, okay, we're going to ground, we're going to calm down, we're going to do X, Y, and Z. I'm going to make better decisions so that I don't end up in this situation again, especially if it pertains to another person that you really care about or you were really in love with. Because if you do that to somebody and you push them to a certain point or you hurt them to a certain point, you might not be able to get back with that person, right? So it's kind of like it's definitely a good idea to stay in this reflective mode until you're ready to make the conscious decision to open up. And then when you make the conscious decision that you're going to open up, understanding that you're still going to have challenges when you do enter that situation. But I'm not saying like, oh, you and this person won't get along. No, but you're going to feel uncomfortable emotions that will become more comfortable as you challenge yourself to ground and stick around, or to work through the issue, or to communicate and open up. You know what I mean? But anyways, that's the message that I have for you, Leo. This video is long enough. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. Oh. Pendulum. Okay. So, Leo. All right. All right. So I want you to take a deep breath, and we're gonna think of a yes or no question. So we're gonna deep breath. You could be really antsy, Leo. Like jittery. Okay. So, what is the answer to Leo's question? All right, Leo. So it is a strong no, a very strong no. Okay. So thank you so much for coming back to my channel, Leo. You know I love you to pieces. And don't forget to subscribe and like and share all that shit to my shit. Okay, I'll see you later. Bye.